Laura said I get to doodle for 1 minute. I think she thinks my minute's over. So we welcome you to this joyful place of unity, where we invite every heart to just feel like you can open to the light of love, of joy, peace, play. Because there is one light that connects us all, no matter what we look like, no matter what we think or feel, we are one in that light. And we are connected by a field of energy that really has no name, but it embraces us all. It embraces all our right doing and our wrongdoing and keeps loving us and holding us, and it's pouring through us because it is our very life. So we invite you to join us as we sing these words, paraphrased from the great mystic Rumi, in this call and response. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, everyone.
Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing,
there is a field. I will meet you there. There is a field.
There is a field. There's a field.
Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing.
Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing,
there is a field. I will meet you there. There is a field.
There is a field. I will meet you there. There is a field.
When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about, too full.
When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about, too full. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about, too full.
Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing.
Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing,
there is a field. I will meet you there. There is a field.
There is a field. I will meet you there. There is a field.
So this is our time in the service where we bless our children who are in this building and some who aren't. And so just bring to mind those children, and lo and behold, they may materialize. It's amazing how that works. So children, we'd like to just send our energy to you and know that we are all connected in this light of love. So let's raise our hands if you wish to join me in shining that energy. And we say together, we love you.
We love you.
Yeah, I like that energy. We bless you.
We bless you.
And we see your divine light shining.
And we see your divine light shining.
Did you feel it, kids? Did ya? Did ya? Okay. Well, we love you. Go have a wonderful day, okay? Let's give them a hand. And knowing this blessing is shining to all the children who are connected to this community, whether they're in this building or not, and shining to all children everywhere where we are connected in that field. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing.
Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing.
There is a field, I will meet you there. There is a field,
there is a field, I will meet you there. There is a field.
one more time. There is a field, I will meet you there. Just breathing that in as we take in our guided by Reverend Inga.
So I invite you to imagine yourself in that field. Feel free to close your eyes as we go on that journey inward. This magical field, well, there is only love, community, where we care for one another, take good care of ourselves, take care of the planet. So imagine that all the atoms and cells of your body vibrate with that divine energy and vitality. For in them is the rhythm of life. And with the help from many unseen sources, we enjoy this beautiful community. We enjoy the love, the support, the collaboration. For it's what nurtures us, the glue that holds us together to make this the very best possible life for each and every one and the community as a whole. And so it is. Amen. Well, good morning, Unity, on this gorgeous day. And we have a candlelighter. There he is, Charles. Good morning, come. And do your magic. Pyrotechnics.
Good morning. Good morning. I light this candle today in the name of peace, happiness, and love. Thank you.
Ah, you got it to work. Magic. As soon as it wants to cooperate.
Do we need a
All
new
right. Thank you.
I think we need a new candle from that candle. The wick must be burnt out.
One of those little ones. Persistence pays off. We shall succeed.
Thank you, Charles.
Well done. So I want to welcome any newcomers, hoping that you've received a packet, and if not, if you want to raise your hand, the ushers will find you and bring you a packet. After the service, there is a sunflower tablecloth on one of the tables in the fellowship hall. If you'd like to join us at that table, we'll have a chance to get to know you. And there's a little name tag on the welcome packet. If you'd like to write your name down, that'll help us to get to know you. So we welcome you, we bless you, and we are so glad you joined us today. And that's enough from me, and now more from Donovan.
Wow, thank you. What a welcome, huh? Laura said she had a surprise, and I said, oh, good, I think. That was awesome. Hi.
It's about time, right?
That was perfect. Boy, I was gone last week, and it seems like months since I've been here. It's just so meaningful for me to be here with you guys and to see you all and to welcome you and to welcome everyone watching on our live stream. You know, I'm going to expect that each week now. Just kidding. Okay, announcements, reminders. Oh, here's a new one. Please make sure that your cell phones are on silent mode so they don't ring during the service. So if you're not sure, you can mute your phone or turn it off. If you're at home, don't worry about it. Paul, do you have your phone off?
I don't have it with me.
Okay, good. So please.
Sure.
Somebody call Paul. Okay. The May Bulletin is posted. Be sure to check it out on our website at unityofthevalley.org. If you have prayer requests, or if you're in need of prayer, that intro got me. I'm sorry. I'm still got to focus here. Okay. If you're in need of prayer for yourself, a loved one, or whomever, a friend, you can place your prayer card in the prayer box in the foyer after the service. And for those watching on our live stream, you can call or text Julia, and her number's on the screen if you want to write that down or memorize it. Okay, let's see. Today, after the service, join us for soup in the fellowship hall. And I'm sure thankful for the people who bring food every week. So when we give them a hand, would that be right? Always out there. Yeah, very often they miss the service and they're always out there ready to serve, and I sure appreciate that. Also after the service, be sure and visit the bookstore, say hello to our volunteers, and see what kind of treasure you can find at the same time. So the bookstore is right out there, so check it out if you haven't been in there in a while. Tuesday at 6:30, Board of Trustees meeting will be in the garden room and via Zoom. All are welcome to attend. If you'd like to attend via Zoom or speak at the meeting, please contact Ted Taylor. Says that his info's up here. There it is. There's Ted's phone number. So if you'd like to participate, please get a hold of Ted. Alrighty, let's see. 7 p.m. The new Behind the Lens Seminar summer movie series begins with An American in Paris with the wonderful Gene Kelly. That's going to be really great. So please check that out. That's Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. Let's see. There'll be a question and answer session with Tom Blank, I think before and after, Paul had said. And be sure to pick up your registration form right out there in the fellowship hall. It's $30 for the series, so that's a good deal if you plan on going to lots of movies, or it's just $5 each time. And then 7 p.m. on Tuesday, the Unity Open Men's Circle is in the upstairs Fillmore wing. They meet on the first and third Tuesdays. So you could go to the men's circle sometimes, or you can go to the movie. Okay. Next Sunday, The Universe is Calling. Are you listening? With guest speaker Reverend Patty Williams. Well, that'll be great. Oh, there's her picture. She looks familiar. So next Sunday, come check that out. Okay, one more. Wednesday, May 29th, 5:30 to 7 p.m., Youth and Family, There is a Mother in Each of Us Fun Night. I like that title. All adults and with children are invited. We'll get through this. We'll be doing a craft, playing a game, acting out a story, and of course there will be food. Good. It's free, but donations are welcome. If you're interested in that, please RSVP to Alice. And it says to point at the slide. Again, another phone number if you want to write that down. And that's all I have. It said now a special announcement about our choir.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
All right. I don't have any music for myself here. So we love to have fun, and we love to make music here, and both of those things happen every Monday night with our choir. And something magical is happening lately with our choir. It's building up to that critical mass where the sounds are just gorgeous coming out of their mouths, and we would love for more of you to come and join us. Next Sunday, Mo is going to be here with the choirs providing our special music, and so if you have any inkling at all that you'd like to give it a try, please approach either me or even better, approach Mo and let her know. And don't worry, you don't have to audition. She makes a joke. Some people say they can't sing in a bucket. Well, she brings buckets, so you don't have to... You don't have to worry about that. Meanwhile, please rise as you are able, and we are going to sing Shine with the Brightest Love.
And this is in honor of our candles here at Unity of the Valley. Like the sweetest summer day, I can feel the warmth of a holy flame. Same melody rising up inside my heart, where it melts away any fear or pain. You got it. Like an island in the sun, underneath the blue sky of heaven. I'm a land of joy and peace, and I see that flame blaze in everyone. Sing hallelujah, shine with the brightest love. Sing that back to us now. Sing hallelujah, shine with the brightest love. Like a golden butterfly, dancing in the flowers on a mountainside. Yeah, put your hands together. Feel the freedom in your soul. Take time every day, glad and deep inside. Like the most beautiful child, lighting up the world with a single smile. This is what we truly are. Got to seek farther than our own standby. Sing hallelujah, shine with the brightest, shine with the brightest love. Sing hallelujah, shine with the brightest.
with the brightest love. Na 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 na. Shine with the brightest love. 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 Shine with the brightest love.
I have a feeling our candles are going to work from now on. Now we prepared you for deep meditation, led by our own Laura.
Let's just breathe in that joy. And settle into our chairs. Make sure that you're comfortable. Kind of scan your body head to toe. See if there's anything you want to let go of. Imagine this beautiful golden healing light washing over you, melting away every bit of fear and worry and stress. And it infuses every cell of your body with love. As we go into this deeper place, just see if you can slow down your breathing. Just add a few extra beats to your inhale and hold it. And see how slowly you can let that air out before you breathe in again. And in this calm place, see the walk of your life. Imagine your daily activities. And notice that we often have a yearning to go back home to that place of calm. So scan your surroundings in your imagination and see way off in the distance that path is there. Slowly walk to that path. There may be some debris along the way. There may be some branches blocking it. We'll go ahead and move that out of the way. And begin to walk along this path to the calm place. Through those beautiful trees. And after you walk a few steps, imagine you see a cave, an opening in the rocks that's beckoning to you. It's a little frightening, but you go into that cave. And as your eyes adjust to the light, you realize this is the cave of your subconscious. And in this cave are all the past traumas and hurts that you've suffered in your life. They're like rocks, little rocks on the floor of the cave. And you start to collect those. And after a while, those rocks become heavy and you decide to leave. You see there is a golden light coming down into that cave. So you follow the light out and back up to the path of your conscious mind. And there along the path you continue to walk and you take a look at those rocks that you've brought out of your subconscious. You acknowledge that they're heavy, they're hard to carry. And as you walk along, you come to a curve and suddenly the entire landscape opens before you. The trees are no longer there and you're on a beautiful, beautiful mountainside with a vast forest in front of you, but you're above it all. And the sun is shining golden light, and you can see the entire horizon. And on this hillside that you've discovered, there's a tree, and you go sit with your back against that tree, and you take your bag of rocks, and each one of them you lift up to the sky, and it transforms into a butterfly, and it floats away. For you have come to the place of the divine mind, the superconscious, the Christ mind. And this is where we release all of the things that have harmed us, caused us fear, caused us pain. We release them, and each of those rocks we let go. We thank it for the lessons it left. We release it never to be with us again. And the most beautiful thing of all is we don't really have to work at this. We don't have to try to do anything. We just are going to sit there on that hillside. We're going to release all thoughts of unworthiness. We know that we are resilient, powerful children of God, that we are divine and we are loved. So let's sit there on that hillside together in the silence. And if any more thoughts come up, just say, hello, thought, and release it out into the ethers and go back to your beautiful moment of silence. And as we come back into our conscious mind, we very well may have those divine ideas flooding into us, whereas before we felt trapped with no solutions. Ideas will come into our mind that were put there by the superconscious. If we open our minds and our hearts to that collective wisdom and relax, very often help will be on its way. And we will feel relaxed and refreshed. And as we make our way back onto the path of our life, we'll have a spring in our step and a smile on our face and gratitude and love in our hearts. Namaste.
catch my breath, but there is no safety net when the whole world is in flames. And you can call me crazy, you can call me dumb, but I still believe in a world that's yet to come. You can be honest and get by, or get rich on the lie that the earth is something we can lose. But when all our needs are met, our time is better spent building the world we truly choose. 'Cause I see the beauty and I feel the love coming out of every one of us. So you can call me crazy, you can call me dumb, but I still believe in a world that's yet to come. Maybe it's time now to return to how we all just truly yearn to be safe and to belong. You're the reason I believe in a world beyond that corporate greed, because you're here singing along. And I hope to meet you there, where the air and water are so clear, where we live and die, connected to unknowing. It feels so far away, but even now I hear her say, you've got to keep going. 'Cause maybe we are crazy, but we are not dumb. And I know you still believe in a world that's yet to come. In a world that's yet to come. In a world that's yet to come.
It's so fun having Katie and her husband John as part of our band, isn't it? Isn't it great? Of course, my favorite is their daughter Calliope, but I can't wait for that day. We're gonna have her big premiere out here someday. It's gonna be sooner than you think. So we have the pleasure of having the longest talk title that we've ever had today. Ancient Future. What will caring for self and our planet look like in 500 years? Donna, my wife, asked me, how do you know? How are you going to know? Okay, here's a prediction. In 500 years, you can mark me down on this. This is gonna be. In 500 years, our phones and our watches and our computers and our televisions, they are gonna blow us away. And people will have advanced in their consciousness a little bit more. You get it? Our technology is going to keep zooming, and our consciousness is going to be like dragging behind, coming along slowly, slowly. Whenever somebody asks me, it says, they think we're going downhill, because of global warming or whatever, we're going downhill. I say to them, okay, just imagine that you were a woman or a minority or somebody who is attracted to the same sex or identifies as a gender not out of the norm. Imagine, which century would you rather live in? Right now or 100 years ago? And then if you were living 100 years ago, would you want to go backwards 100 years to the time of slavery? Or would you want to go backwards 100 years before that to when they were burning witches on the stake? Or would you you see where I'm going with this? See, and what about medical? Would you want to receive a medicine from 100 years ago? And if you were 100 years ago, would you want to receive the medicine from 100 years back before that? And so on. Think of any situation of our culture, government, how you go do your shopping. I know you might have thought the world was better before Amazon, but actually most of you don't think that. Most of you use Amazon. So yes, we look at our planet, and I think that what we're seeing is the consequences of our evolution, of our advancement, has impacted the planet because we're draining it, we're stripping it, we're warming it, we're doing all these things. And now we have to turn around and figure out, what are we going to do as we advance so that our advancement doesn't destroy our planet, right? This is a tough one. So the inspiration of this talk came partly from this article I read. Scott Ortman, an archaeologist at the University of Colorado, Boulder, is one of a growing number of antiquarians who argue that the world's past may hold the key to its future. What lessons can people living today take from the failures of civilizations hundreds or thousands of years ago? So we're going to be looking at some basic things. I want to look at the positive things. Okay, what can we learn from the past that's positive? And I'm going to frame that with this quote, this famous quote from Robert Barrett Browning, a poet, and he wrote this in 1835. Truth is within ourselves. It takes no rise from outward things, whate'er you may believe. There is an inmost center in us all, where truth abides in fullness. And to know rather consists in opening out a way whence the imprisoned splendor may escape, than in effecting entry for a light supposed to be without. So the point is that the ultimate, that super consciousness, that ultimate advancement in humanity is already within us, and it's always been within us. And so it's no wonder that we can look back thousands of years ago and see these glimmers of enlightenment, because people have been awakening to that light throughout history. Charles Fillmore was one of many, our co-founder, Charles Fillmore of Unity, who believed in cycles of time. And that's where this idea of the golden age and the bronze age and the silver age and, I don't know what the bottom one is, lead, I don't know, iron, stone, right? That there have been cycles. And there's some evidence for that. And it's interesting how it's in so many cultures, but I'll come back to that. But taking this idea that we've always had these glimmers of the super consciousness, because it's always been within us, we can look now at the past and we can see some clues that we're already starting to realize we need to bring back. And let's just go around this circle. Number one, applying ancient methods of spiritual awakening, such as yoga, chanting, and meditation. And we've started chanting here once a month, and and it's growing. We started with about 7 people, and then went to 11, and the last time we had about 20, 21 people here. And it's an ancient thing, isn't it? But yet we're coming back to these things. 100 years ago, how many people were doing yoga in the United States? Now it's growing, and I believe it's not just a fad, because it came from the inner light, the inner splendor, thousands of years ago, and we are rediscovering it. Of course, coming closer to nature, you know that we used to live much closer to nature, and now we've found all these ways to separate ourselves. But it can't go on, because by separating ourselves, we ignore what we're doing to nature. And now as we get back into it, and we drive up into the hills and we see all the trees are gone, we need to reconnect. And then back at some point in our distant history, we used to actually have to work and move our body all the time instead of sitting on the couch going click, click, on the cell phone, click, hello. We didn't have to walk or travel to our neighbor. We're going to call our neighbor, right? And a natural diet. I'll get into that later. You can't wait, I know. Simpler living. Yes, we used to live more simply. And we need to get back to some semblance of it. We can't let technology make everything crazier. Daily communion with our source. I'll get back to that. And applying ancient wellness methods and being closer to family and community. So I'm going to get back to all these things because we have so much time. We have 500 years, according to my talk title. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Yes, what all this is leading us back to is a certain kind of lifestyle that some might remember as looking like this. There are some good things about this. How many of you go to the country fair? And the rest of you wouldn't dare go there. I started going there when I was 5 years old because my family sold pottery there because my dad lost his job, and that pottery was what fed our family. And so that's my connection with the country fair. And it was like going back 5,000 years ago to when, or 30,000 years ago, to when the clans, the cavemen came. And the first time I went there, there were some naked people walking around, just like 30,000 years ago.
Sorry, John, is that you and Barbara? I was just curious.
Yeah, me and Donna, you mean?
Or Donna,
me and Donna? Well, I hope that's us a few years from now. All right, so now let's go back to that first one on that cycle that I had. The first one was applying ancient methods for spiritual awakening. I have an ancient past. I don't know if you ever connect with your ancient past. And it's these memories. It's this sense that I've been on this planet. And when I was a kid, a little boy, I was building with my blocks. And I had this experience of building something, and I didn't know what it was, but I built it over and over. And as Laura plays our wonderful prelude music written by our own Susan Smith, I'm going to show you what this was like for me, this discovery of an ancient past within me. So I didn't realize what I was building, but I knew what I was building, these little squares, buildings, was some kind of portal. And I kept seeing myself inside this block building. And I knew that I sat in there and I was transported somewhere. And I kept building that over and over and over, not knowing what it was until I was 24 years old and I discovered meditation. And I realized that was my connection. And I think that is just a sign of what Robert Browning wrote, that there is an inner splendor, and it's always been within us. And so, within that ancient past, I think I also connected to some of these things. You know, in 1845, Henry Thoreau went to the woods. And then in 1950s and 60s, Rachel Carson went to the woods. And they discovered this connection that they had. And they saw that what we were doing to nature. Rachel Carson wrote Silent Spring about pesticides that are infiltrating our food and water. And Henry Thoreau wrote about there is a wildness inside of us that we need to get in touch with. And of course, when we get out in the woods and we walk, then we're moving our body. And we're less likely to eat trans fats. You know, what are trans fats? They are hydrogen injected into vegetable oils to make them more solid, and they last forever on the shelf. And it makes the foods that much cheaper for the manufacturers, knowing it'll last forever on the shelf or a long, long time. And these aren't good for your heart. And of course, heart disease is the biggest killer, isn't it? And, you know, before anybody gets too anxious, we are not going to totally restrict your trans fats here at Unity. But I suggest we just keep leaning veggie. Is that a good idea? Let's just keep leaning more towards the veggies. And take a nibble of the sweet stuff, but don't make that these processed foods, you know, they are not serving us well. And then what else? Simpler living. It's just all the things that we are doing. In 500 years, my prayer is that we will make it so that we don't have to spend, everybody or so many people, millions and billions of people don't have to spend so much of their time working that they can't get out and enjoy nature, that they can't spend time in the temples. Not just on Sunday, but coming here for the chanting and coming here for the meditations. To incorporate communion with the infinite into your daily life. You know, communion with our source is something that the ancients did because they were living on the edge, for one thing. Their life was always in danger. And it's so helpful to have your prayer beads and your feathers and your little pouch to comfort you when you're out there. And so many of us now have so much security, especially because we bought the latest security system for our house, that we don't have to worry anymore. And so why think about our connection with our source? But you see, it's calling within us. Our inner splendor is calling us, as Laura guided us so beautifully in her meditation, to reconnect with that inner light. Because even though we may be secure, and even though we may have Amazon, and even though we can have trans fats whenever we want, most of us recognize there's something missing. What is that missing? It's the inner splendor. So, simpler living, and then daily communion with our source, and wellness approaches the ancients discovered some wellness approaches that we're realizing, even though the pharmaceutical companies don't want to spend money on studying them all because they can't patent them all, there is more and more growing research to some of these ancient herbs. Like every morning and every night, I take something called triphala. Well, that was developed in India thousands of years ago, and it's for digestion and other things, and it's good for the heart, lo and behold. And Ayurveda is a wonderful ancient understanding of herbs and the qualities of the body that, not a lot of research is going into because, again, the pharmaceutical companies can't patent it. But there is a growing movement in that direction. In 500 years, we are not all going to be out there enjoying nature. We're not all going to be meditating. We're not all going to be living simply. But my projection is we are moving in that direction. And we are going to keep having to move in that direction. Because if we don't, the oceans are going to swallow us up, at least on the coastlines. We're going to lose so many more crops and so many people are going to starve because we are not living within our true means. We are not simplifying. And, this last one, closer to family and community. We're fortunate. We don't have bombs landing on us here. But I have been in part of communities. I've worked for 9 different nonprofits. Each one of them was a community. And there are things to watch out for. No, bombs were not dropping on our head. We're so fortunate. But there were other kind of bombs. And that is when we get caught up in power struggles with individuals. And before we know it, we're using our words as bombs. And we're blowing up and inflaming situations by saying things. We've seen what happens in our country when one influential leader claims that another person cheated or did something wrong. Doesn't need evidence. No evidence is needed. People just hear this person and they want to believe that person. And without any evidence, boom, this accusation is made and people think, I don't even need to check into it. And we're so fortunate to have a spiritual community where we have teams of people. We have a team of ministers and we have a team of board. And so if somebody ever heard something that they thought was like, wow, that sounds like something unethical happened, we have a community to confirm, to see the evidence. But our whole nation is not there yet. But in 500 years, may we let's envision together, in 500 years, we will have progressed much further, where people don't just hear something negative, grab onto it, assume it's the truth because they put so much trust in an individual, and then go forward in a destructive mode. And that is an example of how we as a community need to be careful of our word bombs. Our hearts are closed up in part right now because we're withholding some kind of love. We're holding on to judgment of some kind, and we're holding back the ocean of love that wants to pour out. Sometimes people say, oh, I can't go there. It's too painful. They feel it in their heart. And I believe that what they're feeling when it's too painful to go in their heart is they're feeling that divine splendor pushing against the walls that we've created. In 500 years, we don't have to wait for 500 years. The golden age is already shining within us if we break open those walls. And I can't help but put up this cycle. As I said, Charles Fillmore believed in cycles. We often quote from Paramahansa Yogananda. And his guru looked at the ancient Hindu cycle of ages and said, there was a miscalculation. It's a 12,000-year cycle down and a 12,000-year cycle up. And those are not years of the gods, meaning billions of years. Those are the years. And when he recalculated, he found, sure enough, the Dark Age, the bottom of the Dark Age, when we burned the Library of Alexandria, and it was basically sacrilege to have education, was right here at the bottom of the cycle. And where are we? We're barely between 6 and 7 o'clock. But we're inching upward. In 500 years, we'll still be between 6 and 7 o'clock. But this is called the electric age. Yogananda's guru wrote in 1894, he said, in his book, The Holy Science, he said, we are now moving fully into the age of electricities, where we will conquer the electricities and be able to shrink the world with our communications. He wrote that in 1894. What happened? Boom. So we've got a long way to go on this cycle, but the golden age is inside you right now. So let's go within now and see that golden age. See that golden light shining not just in a wonderful new watch we're going to have as it evolves, but watching our soul, our inner splendor unfold and shine with the brightest love. What does that look like in your life, to shine with the brightest love? Are you capable of that? Are you willing to shine with your brightest love? Are you willing to let go of your judgments? Even in the midst of a community like this, where it's so easy to jump on board of something negative, are you willing to let that go and say, that's not my brightest love. I'm ready to evolve right now. I'm ready to let my inner splendor out. Truth is within ourselves. It takes no rise from outward things, whatever you may believe. There is an inmost center in us all, where truth abides in fullness, and to know rather consists in opening out a way whence the imprisoned splendor may escape, than in effecting entry for a light supposed to be without. May we learn from the ancients to apply ancient methods of spiritual awakening, to be closer with nature, to live in communion with nature, working our body, eating natural foods, living simply, so that others may simply live. May we apply the effective methods that have been found to help people medically, and may we come closer as a village. May we invite our parents home to live with us if we can, when they need to. May we enlarge our circle, our dependency, our codependence beyond Amazon, so that we connect with our neighbors and this spiritual community at an ever deeper level, because we are one. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. Amen. Just hold that peace in your heart as our musicians come forward and we begin our offering.
Thank you, John. That was a beautiful message. Before we begin our offering affirmation this morning, I just wanted to mention, with gratitude to all of you, the beautiful abundance and prosperity that we share together here at Unity of the Valley. And that is really because of all of you. All of you form the heart of this ministry, the very blood, the energy that makes it work, the wheels that go round and round. And we want you to know, those of us in leadership, how grateful we are for each and every one of you. And with that in mind, we're going to begin some important building projects this year. We have some long overdue maintenance, some upgrades, some important things that unfortunately are going to be expensive. And very shortly, we are going to begin a fundraising campaign. We're working out the nuts and bolts of that. We're having a board meeting on Tuesday. We're doing a lot of brainstorming. So if any of you have any ideas you'd like to share, please contact me or any of the board members. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We have a half of a year now to do some exciting things, a lot of things we had to put off because of COVID and various other things. But now it's that time, we feel the energy coming, and we're going to start a fundraising campaign and do some wonderful building here at Unity. So with that in mind, please gather your offerings together as we speak the affirmation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I trust God.
Listen as your day unfolds, challenge what the future holds, try and keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you tears, go ahead, release your fears, stand up and be counted, don't be ashamed to cry. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser, you gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stick together. All I know, love will save the day.
Harold, what your mother said, read the box your father read, try to solve the puzzles in your own sweet time. Some may have more cash than you, others take a different view. Me or mine.
You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser, you gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger, you gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stick together. All I know, love will save the day.
Time asks no question, goes on without you, leaving you behind. If you can't stand the pace, the world keeps on going, can't stop it, try to. The best part is danger, staring you in the face.
Listen as your day unfolds, challenge what the future holds, try to keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you fears, go ahead, release your tears. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser, you gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger, you gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know, love will save the day. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta stay stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know, love will save the day. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta stay stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm.
Thank you all so much. Thank you to everyone who put this beautiful service together. Our greeters and ushers, our wonderful people in the bookstore and the kitchen angels, and all the food they so lovingly prepare for us every Sunday. We are so grateful for you. Our audiovisual folks, our children's teachers, thank you all so much. And of course, our music team and these extraordinary singers behind me. You are so dearly loved and appreciated. I want to remind you that I believe that we have some chaplains here. If there are any, please. Oh, wonderful. They will be happy to meet with you on this side of the sanctuary after the service. Thank you all for coming and being with us today. And now we're going to bless our offering. Divine Spirit, with joy, with prosperity, with abundance, we reach out to you in blessing this offering. We are so grateful for the many things that you give us, for the beating of the heart, for the stillness of the mind, for the peace that comes from knowing and loving you. May this blessing go out to touch all the children in all this great world you have created. May all beings be blessed in the name of all that is holy. Amen.
Well, please rise and sing the peace song with us.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family